I'm waiting to see if I'm live. Waiting. Hey, there we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Saturday morning edition of the never ending Saturday morning editions of DoMoreLife's live stream. I started a little bit early this morning because I have some things I need to do today. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Also, I wanted to be sure that I made a few corrections to some information I gave out earlier in the week. Thankfully, it was nothing major, but I did learn a few things that I did not know. And therefore, of course, I'm going to pass it along to you and leave it open for discussion. And it all has to revolve around the reopening of Thailand, basically the reopening of Pattaya, um, to be more specific, because there are things going on in these provinces that were the highly controlled zones that are getting ready to be orange zones, which are, kind of the middle of the road. And good evening, Greg. Um, um, in the orange zones, the provincial governors have a lot more leeway to do a lot of things. Hey, Snowbird Picker, good to see you, man. Um, and they're going there. Nothing is official until it's published in the Royal Gazette with an effective date. Now, that effective date is supposed to be, or is expected to be, according to TPN, is expected to be February the 1st. I hope. Hey, James, good to see you, man. I hope that that is the case and that everything is open and everything is back to norm. Hey, Bradley, good to see you, man. Thanks for dropping by. I do want to make an announcement real quick. Please be sure, if you're not a channel member, that you go ahead and sign up to be a channel member as soon as possible. It's only $2.99 a month, and I'm getting ready to start putting some things for channel members that I'm not going to put out on regular YouTube. One of which is, of course, the members only live stream. And I'm also going today to do something that I said I was going to do for a long time, which is a photo shoot with a professional model here in Thailand. And that will be, those pictures will likely be conglomerated into a video and likely be age restricted, that kind of thing. So, Griffin said it's like when I got out of the Navy after 4 years, every day countdown. Yeah, I hear you, man. Hey, Joshua, thank you, man. Hope you're doing well as well. Mr. Mitch, what's up? Roger, good morning. Have to go for a test later. I'll be in and out. I hear you, brother. I hear you, man. Sounds good. And best of luck to you. Hello, Autumn in Asia. Good to see you. Let me run through the little correction I wanted to make first because I don't think this is going to be a long live stream. I still have to pack and get ready to go do the photo stuff today. Philto says every time you say you have a quick announcement, I tremble a bit worried that you're getting married, but too smart for that. Don't want don't. No worries there, brother. No worries. Enjoy the brain probe. I know, right? That thing looks vicious, man. Okay, the CCSA. This was an article by Bangkok Jack that was published on January 29th, which is still fairly new. But it says the CCA on Thursday ordered the closure of all hotels and similar businesses, as well as public and private tourist attractions in the province until further notice. They're talking about Chonburi, which includes Pattaya, Jomtien, and a few other cities there. Businesses, I'm quoting, businesses, venues that still have customers and wish to stay open must notify the district chief within 7 days after the order is effective. Remember, I told you the order was not effective until the Royal Gazette came in and published the effective date. Then it would be effective. Owners of hotels and similar businesses must provide financial assistance to their employees after shutting down to dissuade them from leaving the province. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to shut down. Sorry, let me get a little light here. Basically, they're going to shut down the hotels and many of the restaurants, or not restaurants, I'm sorry, many of the tourist attractions in Chonburi in order to allow those employees to draw their Social Security, which in America is kind of equivalent to our unemployment system. PSA, I found that the saline spray actually makes. Thanks, Anon. Appreciate it, bud. A news source revealed that the order came after the Thai Hotels Association, the Eastern chapter, had proposed to the committee that an order be issued for closure of hotels so that their employees could be entitled to financial aid provided by the government. Again, that's the Social Security, and there may be other financial incentives for them. I'm not sure. Meanwhile, Chonburi governor has reportedly sent a letter to the Center for, or the CCSA, to consider relaxing the lockdown measures in the province, as no new cases have been found in the past 7 days. This was as of Thursday. Let's see. They were talking about the cases being lower. And so what does this mean for us? Well, it could mean that you can't find a hotel to stay in anywhere in Pattaya. It could mean that Pattaya opens up more hotels if domestic tourism comes in. So some of these guys that are getting out of ASQ could essentially come in and pump the businesses back up, so to speak. What it should also do is allow like bars and restaurants to stay open, I think, until 11 p.m. And that would greatly increase the and also serve alcohol is possible in these orange zones. So just because it's an orange zone doesn't mean you can do it. Because it's an orange zone means it can be done, and it's up to the provincial mayor and probably any pressure that's put on him by local council or the local people, which in Pattaya I'm sure there's a lot of pressure being put on right now to in fact open some of these establishments. Let's see. Anon says at least Thailand is not adopting the new probe technique. Yeah, I know. Greetings from Key Largo, Eric says. Hello, Eric. Good to see you, bud. James says, I want to come back to Pattaya. You certainly will be able to. I just don't know when it will be. Anon says, yes, DoMoreLife. It's 11 o'clock in orange zones, midnight in yellow zones, like Wahan. Gotcha. So I just wanted to make that correction right off the gate, like right at the start of this video, so that people wouldn't be confused if they like went to Pattaya and nothing was, they couldn't find a place to stay, which I still believe that, there are going to be hotels that are going to be open, and there are going to be hotels that have customers that want you to come in and want you to be a part of their business. And as Thailand is considering, I've read many articles, if they're considering dropping the whole queue process if you have the magic shot. And if in fact Thailand deems it worthy to work. So I think that that's something that's probably going to happen at some point. It kind of has to be honest. Eric says, my girlfriend is in Vietnam working for UN. Any word on them opening borders? No, sir. I have not heard anything about Vietnam opening borders. Vietnam is probably going to be the next country on my list to go to, but I haven't heard anything about it yet. Survey. This is from, again, Bangkok Jack. It says, now the Thais want foreigners back. Remember a couple months ago, We did a video on how the Thais didn't really want the foreigners, and I didn't feel like that was really true. And I'm not sure that this is going to be true. I haven't read through this article, so I'm just going to read it, and we can kind of go over it as I see it. I saw a guy put vid out the cost of hotel quarantine 14 days. Well, there are two people in this chat right now that are in the ASQ. Tim says, I've heard so much about, thank you, Robert. I said that whole word, didn't I? Tim said, I've heard so much stuff about Thailand from other vloggers from its open to it will never open and anything in between. Very confusing. I just read the straight news, man. Straight news. Zero over DoMoreLife. I'm not sure what that means, but thanks, Bob. Anna says, James, the cost of Q varies wildly. Yes, it does. We've seen that. Robert says, I talked to embassy yesterday. They don't know yet when people will be allowed back, only special workers. There's never, the reason that you hear different bloggers say different things about Thailand, there's two reasons, Tim. One is just like you have low information voters in certain countries, you have low information bloggers in this country that don't really stay connected with what's going on. Therefore, they'll just tell you whatever somebody told them sitting on a bar stool somewhere. And that's not a good look. Be careful. Always make sure that somebody's quoting some sources. The second reason, and this is not directed towards anybody. The second, neither was the first statement, but the second reason is Thailand changes things all the time. We've been over this many times. Thailand changes the rules over and over and over and over, and they do it because they adapt well. And I think it's it's a positive. People could look at it as a negative, but I would look at it as a positive simply because they're trying to make sure their economy recovers. Robert Mack in Asia says, I talked to embassy yesterday. They don't know when people will be allowed to come back, special workers only. I think he's talking about Vietnam. Robert Mack said, Bob Sears, good to see you. Yes, it is. Jimmy Jones says, big head here, love the content. Thank you, Jimmy. Robert Mack, I'm talking Vietnam. Yep, I thought you were. Anon says, James Neal, anything from around 30,000 to 250,000. He's talking about bot. Jimmy says, what is the chance no ASQ by July because of shot? About 2 minutes ago, you must not have been on here. I said that there are in papers, nothing is official, but there are in newspapers and articles online where Thailand is considering, and I did a short on Thailand welcoming tourists with open arms as long as you've had the magic shot, right? Go watch that short. They're willing to, it seems that they're going to be willing to let you in as long as you've been had the in the arm. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. Gotta love Thailand. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. And it says that Jimmy Jones, they have actually discounted the possibility of no Q with stab until they have a stab that prevents the disease and is proven. Exactly. So here was the thing about Thai residents wanting the country to bring tourists back. It says most Thai residents and tourism operators want the country to reopen borders to international tourists as long as the 14-day queue is still in place, according to the Tourism Council of Thailand. So basically, because people are not thinking things through clearly, which I understand, you're in the middle of something, really going on tough, and sometimes it's hard to see through the fog. I get it. If you hadn't, we got 43 people watching. If you hadn't hit thumbs up, please do. I love it. Eric says, I have had both shots. Oh, wow. Not all of us trust the staff. I understand that, James. I have no issue with that. I don't blame you. Your body is your body, and it's your right to do with it. Mr. Mitch says, I got the magic shot yesterday, and I feel fun better than ever. I think that was intentional. Yeah, I know. That was a good one, Mr. Mitch. I like that. Very good. Very good. So the TCT surveyed 785 operators in tourism-related business and 1,444 ties from November 11th to December 10th. 60% of surveyed locals and 50% of tourism operators agree with the idea to reopen the borders as long as a 14-day queue is still required. Most agree that the mandatory queue is still necessary. This is complete contrast with all other similar surveys during 2021 in which Thais insisted they wanted foreigners kept out of the country. Again, this is Bangkok Jack's words, not mine. 60% of tourism operators say foreign visitors should enter on the special tourist visa and undergo a 14-day queue in closed areas with the opportunity to do recreational activities. See, this is where the whole thinking stuff doesn't come in. What if you want to be a teacher like me, right? You can't just come in I mean, you can come in on a tourist visa stamp, which they brought back, that 45-day stamp, but you can't, or you could come in on a non-B visa that you got in your home country. But you can't you can't do what you used to, come in on a tourist stamp and then go back out of the country on to a consulate to get your non-B visa and come back in. You'd have to do queue twice. That golf queue got approved. Low end is around 90,000 baht so far, including green fees and golf cart. Cool. Thanks for the update on that, and I appreciate it. Greg, warm and fuzzy for the thumbs up. Definitely, they do make me feel warm and fuzzy. I appreciate it. Bob says he got the first one today. Good for you, man. That's awesome, Bob. And I'm glad that I hope everything goes well with it. Mr. Mitch says, still waiting. Yep, I haven't heard anything about being able to get one here. Johnny, what's up, Johnny? He says, hello, Jeremy, and chat. Robert Mack says, Integrity Legal also just posted something about that. And yeah, I didn't get to see the video, but I saw that it was posted. I'll watch it later. Robert says he got a shot of tequila yesterday. That's pretty close. Jose Cuervo, you're a friend of mine. Gotta love Thailand says, I did go to immigration and I have to go back on Tuesday, but according to what they told me, I just need house papers, a copy of my passport, bank statement, but no test. I will let you know when I go. As far as I know right now, there is no, the information I've been given by a lawyer in Thailand is that there is no immediate protocol for a test for a visa extension or a visa or getting a visa, period. I haven't heard of any of those if you're in country. So like if you wanted to what kind of visas can you change over in country? If you wanted to change a visa over in country, there's no protocol that saying that you have to have a test as of today. There's also no protocol when you go for your visa extension or get a work permit. There's no protocol for that either. Not at a government level as of today that I'm aware of. And in fact, I've been made aware that that's not the case at all. So that could change at any time. We'll see what happens. Johnny says, hello, Robert. Yes, that would help. Couch colds and I'm going to leave that one alone. Tim says, Thailand and foreigners remind me of Norfolk, Virginia and sailors as far as that goes. Both Thailand and Norfolk hate them, but also they know they needed to survive. I like that, Tim. Good one. Robert saying hey to somebody. Ty Guy Bry, good morning. Good to see you, bud. Thanks, mate. There's Ross. Hey, Ross. I got to talk to you, too. If you are here, no C-19 paperwork of any kind is required as of today. That's exactly what I thought. And that's exactly what I read. So, as of right now, there are no government, like I said, no government protocols meaning that you have to have that test before you can get one. So thanks, Ross, for confirming that for me. I appreciate it. And just because somebody put something up in the chat that confirms something that I said doesn't mean that it's actually confirmed. However, if Ross puts it up, I believe him because he keeps up with the news like I do. Not to mention he's my friend, so that has a lot to do with it too. Johnny says, yes, Jeremy, there's always requirements. They run up the flagpole to see public reaction. I agree, Johnny. I agree 100% with that. And I think that a lot of the times that flagpole doesn't stay, or the flag doesn't stay at the top of the pole very long. And I'm hoping, if anything, if a requirement like that would come out, it wouldn't stay very long. I hope. That's my hope. But good point, though, Johnny. Very good point. James says, I got retirement visa years ago, but now I think it's changed so much. Heard that $800K in the bank, proof, medical insurance, etc. That's true. And Scott is saying that's true. James, to answer your question, if Ross is still in the chat, he could probably answer that completely. I'm not an expert on retirement visas, so I don't do a lot of videos about them, but Ross has a retirement visa video on this channel. But that's more about how much money you need to retire. Ross can type a comment and update you there. Griffin says, tried to get on the list of shot 6 times, could not get in the phone lines or website. That's the way it is in Florida. Wow. Let me finish this. Some 53% of operators say Thailand should welcome independent tourists from low-risk countries while also requiring them to undergo a mandatory 10 to 14-day queue. They don't understand that the queue is what's killing tourism. That's why there is no tourism. Like, I understand the purpose of having it. I'm not saying they shouldn't have it. I'm just saying that's why the tourism is, in my humble opinion. That's why we're not seeing massive amounts of tourism and massive amounts of Thailand reopening, and expats doing a lot of domestic travel and that kind of thing. Let's see. Ross says, James Neal, if you already have extension, no proof of insurance is needed. Cool. The survey also showed a drop in, when it comes to lifting the queue for travelers from low-risk countries, half of the tour operators and 39% of locals agree. The survey also shows a drop in confidence among operators in tourism sectors, although the government announced additional holidays to stimulate traveling spending. But what they don't tell you about that is not all the holidays are mandatory. Some of them are to be chosen. Like there's one coming up this month that we may get or we may not get. And then there's one at the end of the month that's a national holiday that we will get toward the end of the month, February, which brings me to the contribution, the link at the top of PayPal. If you wish to see me travel on a 3-day weekend at the end of February or twice in February, feel free to contribute to the channel fund, as that always helps. I could definitely get more done with the more money I have and bring you more content with that. But not a requirement, of course. Oh, wait. Do we have PayPal already? Let me see. No. Okay, never mind. Thought we had a couple come in already. All right, what we got here? Ottoman Asia says, Griffin trying to log in at midnight exactly. They will schedule X amount and shut down. Early bird it, bro. Good idea, Ottoman Asia. Roger says, Q might be why you're not seeing V running wild in Thailand. That can't be true. Have you read the numbers of the migrant workers lately? Samusa Khan reported 700 and something cases yesterday. I mean, you know what I mean? So, while your point, you know what? I'll give you this, Roger. Your point might be valid to a certain degree, but Is your answer keep the country closed forever? Make a queue for everybody that comes to Thailand forever? You think people are going to come back? How about waiting until everybody in the world receives the magic shot? It's never going to happen, bro. It's never going to happen. This is something we're going to have to learn how to live with. I ain't trying to like get at you or anything. You got a point. I'm just saying. The low numbers and the V running wild. We saw it run wild. For the last month, we saw it run wild. Went from what 5,000 total cases to now we're up to over 12,000 in a month. I'd say that's a pretty substantial increase, and that had nothing to do with the queue. Those were majority illegal gambling sites, and there were also the vast majority were the migrant workers that come over here in Smoot-Sakhon. So let me put it to you this way: if a lockdown was the solution, then the first lockdown in America would have worked. The first lockdown in Sweden would have worked. The first lockdown in not Sweden. The first lockdown in Europe would have worked. The first lockdown here in Thailand would have worked. So I just don't believe quarantining people and locking them down is the answer. That's just my personal opinion, and you differ, and that's fine. We are welcome to have a difference of opinion. Senior Frank says private hospitals should be able to purchase their own supply of these soon for sale expats or Thais that don't want to wait for the government option. I agree with you, Senior Frank, and I hope that I can get in there. I'm sure it's going to be expensive though. New York Frank, good evening, sir. It's good to see you. Scott says, Jeremy, you should start being more mindful of facial expressions. YouTube will be striking channels for facial. You're right. I believe that. What is the price tag, Ross? I'm very interested in that. What's the price tag going to be? And I say it's good to hear about the no insurance for extensions. Heard they changed that. That's good. Let's see. Filtho says this might be sensitive, but do you think there is any measurable desire by travelers to punish the Thai economy for dragging your feet open well past camp? Hey, man. I mean, it's possible. Look at what's happening with just your regular, average, everyday people on Reddit right now in America. You know, it's possible. People are pushing back on a lot of governments everywhere across the world, not just Thailand. I would say anything's possible, Philtos, and that's a very interesting point to bring up. Griffin says the Publix website opens at 6 a.m. 300 people. Okay, David Stanley, he's got the YouTube logo up there. Hey, David, good to see you. Ross says it ran wild and ran out of steam. Yeah, but it could pick up steam again at any time. We know all it takes is one person to do the wrong thing, step out of line, and then you got to go track, 400 people down and in 76 provinces, and it's just I don't even know if we have 76 provinces here, but I'm saying it just takes that one person to do the wrong thing, so it's not. I don't know. It's worth debating, certainly, but I don't think I personally just don't feel like the queues and the lockdowns are the solution. I don't. I think that learning to live with the treatments that they have for it, we know for a fact work. Some of them, depending on the person, a lot of that depends on the person. And we also know that these rapid development V's are going to be tested. And when I mean tested, I mean what they're doing now. They're giving it to people and seeing if it's going to work. And hopefully, I'm praying that it works, because as soon as the people get that magic shot, bro, then Thailand will probably, like my short said the other day, Thailand will probably open its borders with a big smile on their face and open arms to everybody. And I hope that happens. I really do. I really do hope it happens. I just don't think the queue is the answer. You're certainly not going to see a rise in tourism as long as that queue stays there. That's all I'm saying. Jimmy Jones says, JC, you are dead on, bro, saying what's on in everybody's mind. I try to just say it in a nice way. Thank you, Jimmy. James says, Ross, I think I can come in on that new 90-day tourist visa, show less money compared to 800K above retirement visa, maybe. You talking about the special tourist visa? Yeah, you can definitely do that, I think. Senor Frank talking to Ross, he says the Astro is supposed to be in the 3,000 baht range from the report I saw. My understanding is that profit on that one is supposed to be limited since it was publicly funded. That's interesting. Craig Croak, what's up, bud? Hello from Quezon City. When they lighten the grip to enter, we will come see you. Do that for sure. New York Frank says lockdowns don't work. There is no data to support it. I'm actually going to leave that up just because. Johnny says the LDs in my state of Australia did work. Just others kept bringing in people without screening. That's what happened here. Same thing. They kept bringing migrant workers across without screening, and then you would have the people go to the markets or whatever, pick it up and take it to the gambling places that they were doing spread. And Johnny, I think the Australia model was a little bit different. I don't want to get into it because I don't know my every key point that I need to know. But I'm pretty sure that you had some different stuff going on in Australia. And you guys, great job, by the way. David says, I want to come back as soon as possible. It appears to me Thailand government is not making things easy for foreigners. Well, they're trying to look out for the best interests of Thailand. And sometimes that means, locking certain places down, putting people in queue. They're going to do what they think is best. And we will only know. This will be a hindsight 2020 conversation in a year, I'm sure. James said, why wouldn't the Thai government allow international tourists who have received the C vaccine and have tested negative to come to the kingdom? Your guess is as good as mine, brother. I don't know. I think that me personally, I think that's the answer, right? You get the magic shot. You come to Thailand or any other country, and you get the test right there on the spot, and you get the results, and if you're good, you're good, and then there's no you're not bringing it in. You know what I'm saying? James says a lot of protests on lockdowns, and some say bad stuff in the backs and some bad reactions, plus name and 99% survival. Yeah, I can't leave that comment up because that's YouTube would look at that as some type of conspiracy theory, even though I understand exactly what you're saying, bud. Tim says it's kind of funny. We say the way we speak of X sounds like some STD or something. I know, right? Anon says just ordered tomorrow's meals 4 days and a wake up cannot come soon enough. I bet, bud. I bet you've been there for a while, but hey, man, you're about to get out. You are about to get out. Alderman Asia says, Anon, I'm happy for you. Alderman Asia has been a good chatter in here. I want a ham and cheese sandwich from 7-Eleven. I hear you, bud. I just had one yesterday. Robin Mack says, Anon, good luck. You're almost there. Johnny says, we were like in jail for 8 months. Yeah. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to get too deep into it there, Johnny. we were like, oh, I got that. Ross says, Johnny, not easy to sneak into Australia like Thailand. You have no borders. That's true. Ham and cheese for 7-Eleven is good to go. Corey says, can you touch on a couple of points why you prefer Thailand over the Philippines? The infrastructure is probably a decade ahead in Thailand. Law and order is a real thing here. And there are the cost of living here justifies itself, whereas in the Philippines, the cost of living there got really expensive, and I didn't think that it justified itself because the Philippines does not have the infrastructure that Thailand has. The only place you can find a rail, like a quick route transportation rail, is in Manila, as far as I know, in the Philippines. Here it's in Metro Bangkok, but they're expanding it all the time, and there are more plans to expand it. That kind of infrastructure traveling, there are far more taxis here. The horn blowing, there's virtually no horn blowing here in Thailand, whereas when you're in the Philippines on the road, you're getting a horn blown at you a lot. Crime is much lower here than it is in the Philippines, and I could keep going, but that's just a few, Corey. Johnny says, Ross Bleeding Hearts Mob, we have stuffed up the whole thing. The doorman, it's all about timing. Look at me. I did with perfect timing and enjoying beaches in Phuket now. Medtech says, I'm so sorry, Jeremy. We are at IHOP. I must listen later because live stream would disturb other patrons. I understand it completely, and it's good to see you, Medtech. Robert Mack says, me too. James says, no problem. James says, ham and cheese, foreign food. It is. Tim, so I guess the question is this. When Thailand opens back up, will there be anything worthwhile to go back to, or will it be a bunch of used-to-be places that are all empty? I think that there's going to be some emptiness, but I think when they come back, when these places are reassembled, and like there's going to be an initiative on Walking Street, for example, in Pattaya, they're going to put all the wires, the electrical wires, they're going to put them all underground to clean it up and make it look nice. So you're going to see a lot of new businesses around, and I think that's going to be good. I think it's going to be real good. Kind of a refreshment, sort of. Doorman James TAT is proposing the idea. Yep. The passport. That's what the video was about this morning from Integrity Legal. Adam says, hey, I'm looking on the bright side. By the time Q is relaxed in 8 years' time, I'll qualify for retirement. It's time to save up. There you go, Adam. I hear you, bud. Ross says, Tim, from the business owners I talked to, they all plan to reopen. Many do, but there are some. Ross, I was talking about more specifically, like there are some places in Bangkok and some places in Pattaya that I've seen that are gone forever. Like the businesses are sold, people are out, the owners have let it go, and there'll be other people to buy into it. And MedTech says, I'm reading the comments. That's cool. Anon says that James Neal just try to find a good ham and cheese at a Farang 7-Eleven. That's true. Tim says, Ross, well, that's good to hear. Yeah, it is good to hear. The doorman says they're thinking third quarter, but yet at the same time, there will be 10 million tourists in second quarter. I read the third quarter thing about how they were going to start pumping out the magic shot on the 14th of February. That was when it was going to become available, and we should be able to see relaxed queues or no queues at all by the third quarter. I'm kind of in agreement with you there that I think it's gonna. I think Thailand's kind of going to have to speed it up a little bit faster than that. So I agree. There may be many tourists in the second quarter. I don't know, but I feel like there will. Euthanasia says, are the girls better in Philippines or Thai? It's depending on what you want, man. Depends on what you want. I I'm not good. I'll make a video. I already have several videos on this channel about that euthanasia, and I better say that slowly. Youth in Asia. Are the girls better in Philippines or Thai? It all depends on what you mean by better. That's been my experience, and I have videos on this channel about the difference between dating girls in Philippines, dating girls in Thailand, with people with expats that are in the Philippines right now. You're more than welcome to check those out. Just type in Philippines or whatever. I've got hundreds of videos on Philippines, got hundreds and hundreds of videos on Thailand. James says, Doorman, thanks. I hate left line. It's 1984. Yep. Yep, James. That's right. But we can't say 1984 because we know what that means. Or I can't leave it in the chat. Mr. Mitch says, hello, Doorman. Corey Smith says, thanks for the examples, bud. Keep up the great content. I will do my best, Corey. Thank you. Where are we now? Ross says, euthanasia girls are the same everywhere. Some good, some bad, some ugly. And the difference between Thai girls and Philippine girls, in my opinion, are there is a substantial difference in their culture and the just the differences in them. I'll do a video. I'll do another video on that. Johnny says, Corey Smith, ask yourself about culture and the way of life. Good point, Johnny. Euthanasia says, Ross, do you think they are all the same in terms of intimacy? I'm going to answer that question for you. Absolutely not. James said, when I look at Bangkok and Pattaya power lines, I get scared and confused. And sometimes we do too. Craig says, how is the teaching going? It's going. That's about it. Dale, hey Dale, thanks so much for your referral to Integrity Legal. I am now in touch with them. Great people. Good. I knew they would be, and I'm glad that they are helping you. Tim says, wires underground, that's only about 20 years behind the time, especially since I've seen the wiring nowadays, and I use the term wiring loosely. Yeah, it may be behind the time, but at least it's getting done. That's the way I look at it. Thank you, Corey Smith, for the $3.99 super sticker there. I appreciate that, bud. Thank you very much. James says, let's see. Maybe we should buy a couple of abandoned bars in Pattaya and I don't know, man. I don't know. If I had the money, I might consider it. Filtho says, I've seen soy bacao during a rainstorm under 3 feet of water. I question putting communication lines under. This is all I've read is just on Walking Street, not anywhere else. Just Walking Street. They're trying to clean that up to make it a more like a more tourist friendly. This is where you should come kind of place, in my opinion. That's what they're doing. I have walked over soy bacao in more than 3 feet of water, and I understand the drainage problem in Pattaya. It's all the roads get like that when it rains. You have to be very careful during the rainy season, and yeah, the underground water, the underground lines there, they would have to take special precautions. I agree. Ross says euthanasia, one girl with one guy may be intimate, next guy cold as ice. Fair point. Lyle says as long as the oldest business profession comes back, also that never left, bro. That never left. Euthanasia says thanks, man. I'll check it out. James says I haven't been with Vietnam girl yet. My friend of mine said just there's a friend of mine told me there's a big difference in Vietnam and Thailand and Philippines, and I just can't go into that right now. I'm sorry. Filtho says he's commenting on the girls better. The girls are always better when you're in Southeast Asia. I like that. Doorman says you can't hurry a process that they have no idea of getting tourists back. Right now, it's like the army. Hurry up and wait. They're trying to fix the wires in Quran, but since no underground vaults to run them through, they're making them nice and tidy above. Beach Road in Patong, different story. They are burying them. Autumn says there's high-speed rail in Thailand. Awesome. Yeah. Corey says, I spent 8 months or better in Thailand. Most of the islands, etc. Had a lot of fun. Will be coming not this summer, but next. How could I get up with you when I get there? Man, you can comment on this channel. You can send me a Facebook message, whatever. Any way you want to. Can you surf? Nope. In Thailand. Oh, I'm sure there are places you can surf in Thailand, but I'm not a surfer. I've never seen anybody surf in Thailand, so I don't know. I'm in there with the doorman that says no high speed rails yet. I haven't seen a high speed rail in Thailand, so I'm inclined to agree with you. Craig says, have you been to Chiang Mai yet, or school keep your travels to a minimum? School always keeps my travels to a minimum. That's why I got to break free. I got to break free and do something different at some point. And I'll get there. Mr. Drew, hello. The doorman, the surf, I've been watching them at Kata. There is surfing. Cool. The power line, Johnny says, the power lines and internet lines remind me of a woman up country last year got necked when riding her motorcycle down the road. Yeah. That's always a big danger. As a guy who drives NMAX everywhere, I can tell you that's always something that's in the back of my mind, especially when I'm out in the rural areas. It's yeah. Adam says, in some ways, some places in Southeast Asia may not be up to date, e.g., overhead power lines, but that's part of the charm with less regulations compared to the West. I agree with your statement 1,000,000%, Adam. Like, who wants to come here and just be, same all the time? Came here to try something different, so things are going to be different. I guarantee it. Adam says in some place, I read that. New York dude in San Diego says, hello from San Diego. What's up, man? Thanks to see you. James, thank you for the super sticker, the $3 super sticker. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you very, very much. Very much. Also, to whoever, was it Corey that was asking me about something different between the Philippines and Thailand? In the Philippines, it is so hard to move money around in the Philippines. Okay, it's complicated. It'll give you a headache. In Thailand, moving money around in Thailand is the easiest thing you will ever do in your life, because in Thailand, I never go to a store to pay a bill. Never. I pay all my bills online on my cell phone, all of them. And it's so convenient, so convenient. I'm not even sure I could do what I do here if I was in America, to be honest with you. So in that respect, that's part of the infrastructure I'm talking about. I love it. And I says, trouble is same as in Turkey years ago when they run a new line, they don't bother taking down the old one. It is what it is. That's good point there. Autumn says, I live in San Diego. Cool. Hopefully coming to Pattaya in late November. You should be able to get in by then, New York dude. And I said that Autumn Road, probably the only place to surf is on the Andaman Sea coast. That would make sense. Drew says, do you think Thailand, I say Drew because I can't pronounce your first name, no disrespect. Do you think Thailand or Cambodia will be an option for me by September to make a visa run out of the Philippines? Any thought would be appreciated. I think the doorman could tell you about going to Cambodia. That would be a place to make a visa run. It's going to cost you a little bit because you have to pay to be there. I guess you would have to pay maybe 1 day of queue to be there or something. I'm not sure. Tim says electricity is the exact same no matter where you are. Only difference is how you handle it. How secure is Thai banking as far as hackers go? I've never had a problem. That's all I can tell you. And I've never heard of anybody having a problem. So I don't, that's my answer, Tim. I'm not trying to cut you short there, brother. Doorman says, Anon 555, they have been a lot of waste after the tidy the wires and Kata piles of wires on the ground. Have to do a video showing them doing it in Kata and do one on Beach Road, what they're doing. Interesting. You're welcome, Drew. Adam says, as I intend to come back to Thailand more regularly in the future, is it easy to open a bank account? Yes and no. I can't really talk about the no part on here, but for the most part, it's easy. Yeah, for the most part, it's easy, but it can be difficult and it can be a little expensive. I'll explain that to you maybe in a hit me up with a message or something. I will be going after this live stream. You can message me if you want to, but don't expect me to answer until tomorrow because the rest of the day is completely packed, and I have a full load today. Doorman says Cambodia, no, not right now. No, because no tourists allowed, like Vietnam by September. Who knows? Okay, I stand corrected. Philto says games urging together to do in that spirit. In that spirit, I'll match the next $10 PayPal contribution. Let's work together and keep JC on the road. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Well, if we get a $10 PayPal, I'll let you know. I haven't heard anything. Phone hadn't went off this morning, so I'll certainly let you know. Thank you, Philthos. But because YouTube will not allow us to talk about what's going on right there, I got to remove your comment. So I hope somebody sees that. I believe that's Autumn and Asia just put a $10 super chat. I think will you count that, Philthos? He didn't send it through PayPal, but I don't know if you'll count that or not. It's up to you, buddy. And let me see real quick. That super chat came. Yeah, Autumn and Asia. Thank you so much, bud. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. And yes, I got a $10. I don't know if this is you or not, Philthos, but somebody just sent a $10 PayPal. I won't require the name. There's a $10 super chat. Thank you guys so much. You guys are being super generous today. But there is a $10 PayPal that just came in. So if that wasn't you, Philthos, there's your $10 PayPal match. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much for the support. I really, 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 really appreciate it. Anon says, the doorman, true, it can be a mess, especially with fiber optic, because it's difficult to terminate a fiber run compared to a copper run. That's a very good point. I know a little bit about electricity. I took it for like 7 years in school. Where was I at? Gotta love those Thai grounds, though. Anon said, that's true. Doorman says, same with Thailand, right? No, but no one knows what September will bring. Good point. Isn't that the name of a song? What September will bring? I don't know. Anon says, Adam West, check out the YouTube channel, Band Smile. They may be able to help you with that for a small fee, of course. Interesting. James says, I know there are good and bad girls in Thai. Mine, she married rich Japan man, was supposed to marry me, now wants me back, and I still send money a bit. I hope I'm not burned again. I hope you're not either, brother, but that's almost I couldn't do that if I couldn't do that. I couldn't bring her back into my life. But I understand completely why you feel that way, James. And the best of luck to you, brother, because that doesn't seem like it would work out in the best. We just got another $10 PayPal, but it hasn't come through my email yet, so I can't quite show it to you. Let me see if I can get it to refresh here. Get it to come in. Nope, not yet. Thank you, whoever just sent the $10 PayPal. It just had it at the top. It didn't say who it was from, but I will get there. Thank you guys so much for all the support today. Really, really appreciate it. Let's see. Griffin says, Alderman Asia, thank you again for the super chat. And who else do I have? Ooh, hang on. Wait for it. Wait, I can't be that far behind. No, hang on. Corey, yes, thank you for the super chat as well. I really appreciate that. Griffin says most of the wires are old phone lines that were never taken down. I was an electrician before retirement. You have a point. The doorman says in order to border run to Thailand, had to queue, but at least tourists are allowed. That's a fair point. Drew says, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate what you're doing for the channel. I really do. I really appreciate it. A tremendous amount. It helps far more than you know. And thanks again to Corey as well. Filtho says, I'll count it since you'd have still got it without any contributions anyway. I'm gonna see if that second PayPal came in. There was another $10 PayPal that came in. I don't know if I can show it on PayPal or if you guys just want to take my word for it. Let me move on from that. Let me see if I can do this without showing name. This is the match from Filthos. Yeah, I can just see it takes away the. I can't show. I can't quite get there to cover it up, but it's that's the match from Filthos. So thank you, Filthos. If it comes up, it's supposed to come through my email to alert me that I have one. If it does, I'll show it to you guys. If not, no way. Let's see here. Filtho says, I got that one. Alderman Asia says, that is the easiest way for me to do it. No problem, Alderman Asia. No problem at all, man. No problem. Doorman says, time to go ahead and Harley and check out the 48 before I go head deep into a Triumph. Awesome. See you, Doorman. Filtho says, that one's mine. Okay, gotcha, man. James says, would owning a Harley Davidson in Pattaya be a bad idea? I don't think so. I don't see why it would. James says, I saw a bird get zapped. Hang on, let me go back up. James says, I saw a bird. Wait, where was I? I saw a bird get zapped and transformer blew up at Kong Trong Mansion on the. I hear you, man. And on, see you, bud. Have a good one, man, and enjoy your life when you get out of queue. Doorman says depends on where you will be riding. If you plan to ride out of Pattaya, but I'm in Phuket, so a touring bike is not a must for me, at least till I move to the Northeast. James says, go for the Harley and Pattaya. Girls will go wild. That's good, possibly a good point there. Doorman says, I'm looking at between 48 and 1200 XL or the T120. Oh, those are big ones. Those are big ones. Stuck, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you stopping by, as always. James says, I had a 1200 Nightster and it was a fast machine for sure. So now we've moved into talking about Harley motorcycles. That's awesome, guys. I've got company, so I'm kind of busy. Oh, well, then by all means, man, enjoy your company because I'm busy too. I'm getting ready to do something for the channel members today. I'm going. I've been promising you guys a photo shoot with a real, actual Thai model, and I'm going to do that today, like in a few hours. So then I'll put that together. I'll put those pictures together over several videos for you guys, and it's I think it'll be very interesting. Very, very interesting. The night shirt is the same as the street steps, but I don't know why, doorman, but YouTube didn't want that comment up there. It had a hold, and I'm just gonna play it safe. No disrespect to you at all. Yeah, Stuck, do your thing, man. Well, I want to see her. James said, been seeing a lot of Harleys here in Phuket. Cool, man. Charles White, what's up, buddy? Harleys are expensive with import. Yeah, they would be expensive with import tax, but I'm going to cut it here. We've been going an hour, guys. Brown Al Bundy, what's up? Jeremy, it's been a while. Hope you're well. Alonzo, what's up, man? Hope you are doing well. Glad to see you in the chat, bro. I hadn't seen you in a while, man. I hope you're doing super well. And when the borders open up, please come visit, man. Come visit. Love to hang out with you again. Had a good time. Everybody else, thank you so much, so much to everyone who contributed today. I really appreciate it. Really, genuinely appreciate the super chats and the PayPal contributions. And just so you know, none of that stuff goes towards my rent or my living or cost of living or whatever. All that goes into stuff for the channel. So, thank you again for everyone that did that. I really appreciate it. See you later, alligators. Take care. Of course, let it bro, enjoy your day. Thank you, man. I'll do my best. And everybody in the chat, my moderators, you guys, you guys that come in and just make sure that the chat's nice and clean all the time. I really appreciate that very, very much. Stuck says I had to make Filthos pay up. I thought that was you, but I didn't. I thought that was you, but I always have trouble because there are two people with your first name that anonymously send in stuff. But thank you very much for that. I appreciate that, Stuck. Thank you, bud. Mr. Smith says, thank you, Jeremy. All the best. Of course, always. Alderman Asia says, thank you, sir. I appreciate your contributions. And everyone, have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. Whatever you do today, be sure to do more life. And maybe there'll be a live stream tomorrow morning. I don't know. It depends on how the rest of the day goes. And maybe I can tell you about it. I'm not sure. So, again, whatever you do today, be sure to do more life. Thanks. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one.